Secondhand toy dealer here, and this is the toy haul for the month of September. So, a few weeks ago I picked up this Star Wars Micro Machines Action Fleet Rancor set with Luke Skywalker and little green soldier. This, if you watched the previous video, this box came all beat up, smashed, creased, and everything. I replaced the plastic. I taped up some of these seams to straighten them out, and I really just gussied up this packaging so that it looks more mint than it was. There was actually a blemish on the front of this section here, and I took a Toys R Us price tag and put it over the blemish. That's probably why there's a blemish there. Somebody peeled a sticker off of there. But I love finding toys that came with Toys R Us price tags and KB Toy Store price tags. Shoot, even old vintage Walmart price tags and Hills price tags. So I like the patina of a price tag. And although this didn't come this way, I'm sure that somewhere there was a Rancor set sold by Toys R Us with a price tag on it. So I think that it works. So it works for my collection especially. So I'm not trying to posture it so that it sells for more money. I just want it to look nicer in my collection. And then I saw a Walmart Spark Your Collection section, and it was 2/3 bare, but they did have this Hot Wheels Premium 1/43 scale custom 1970 Chevy Nova, which is really cool. I love that orange color there. When I first saw these, they came out and they were $25 each. I picked this one up at a Marshall's for $12.99, which is a lot better price than the $25 that Target was selling theirs for. And now Walmart is selling these, but they have them priced at $26.97. And although I do think the detail of these Hot Wheels Premium 1/43 scale cars is pretty impressive, and I love the packaging, but $27 just seems out of line. I mean, it's crazy. They got me on this one. I was willing to pay full price for a orange Chevy Nova, but boy, I don't think that I could bring myself to spend that kind of money on many of these cars, even though they do have impressive detail and really nice packaging. And then I found a Jada 1/43 scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Party Wagon. And these are only priced at like $8. I mean, like, granted, the detail isn't as pristine, and I do like a card back kind of packaging more than I like a box with window packaging, but boy, I can get along with that price a lot better. And they seem to be doing really good with getting different kinds of IPs. We got the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, got some Transformers, we got Smokey and the Bandit back there, some Jurassic Park, and here goes the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to round out that collection. That's kind of fun. So I was looking on Amazon and I found one of these Bitty Pop arcades. This is the Wreck-It Ralph Fix-It Felix Jr. cabinet. So you get that Wreck-It Ralph Bitty Pop, and then you get the arcade cabinet. And you can see that if you open him up, you can place him in the arcade cabinet, maybe like you're playing the game, which is pretty cool. I haven't decided how I want to display these. I might actually take these out of the package and put them somewhere in the display case. Thanks, Raphael fell over. I had already picked up a G.I. Joe Hot Wheels Premium Combat Jet Sky Striker, which I thought this was a spectacular idea for them to do. They already had the mold from the Top Gun Hot Wheels Premium F-14 Tomcat. All they needed to do was repaint it to come up with something new to sell, and they did. So that's awesome. I picked up enough to peg stack here to go along with this Hot Wheels Premium Aircraft section. And just like that. And then we've got the Hot Wheels Color Shifter 1980 Chevy Corvette. This is the Transformers Trax. I have him in a transforming toy there. He'll go with my Optimus Prime and my Bumblebee. And I was just thinking about this the other day. What are the odds that they're just going to make this Optimus Prime and that Bumblebee, and they will never make a Hot Wheels Premium version of those die-cast cars? A little more detail, a little nicer card back. I think that'd be pretty awesome. And I picked up another box of collecting cards. This is the Pro Set Superstars Music Cards. This has got some 1990s band members and whatnot. There's MC Hammer. Wouldn't that be pretty fun to get? But my cousin and my brother and I, we get together and do some thing called a rip and swap, where we buy a box of cards, divvy out all the cards, and just spend an hour opening packs of cards and swapping back and forth for ones that we thought we wanted. And I thought that we always like finding odd boxes of collector's cards, and this definitely fits that bill. So it'd be interesting to see what we can find in this box. So a few months ago, I saw these Transformers retro card back offerings, and they had Bumblebee and Gears. I already have quite a few Bumblebee items. So you got a die cast, you've got the action figure, another die cast. So it just seems like I've got Bumblebee kind of covered. I don't really need more Bumblebees. So I passed on the Bumblebee, and I was waiting for the Gears to go on clearance. They were originally $25, which I thought was a little pricey, and they clearanced to $15. If I would have seen a Bumblebee for $15, I probably would have picked one up, but I never did see one. I'm actually kind of happy that I didn't see one and I didn't pick one up, because the next two that are coming out are ones that I like as well. They're going to come out with Brawn and Sea Spray, so I can peg stack those. The question is, will I wait until they clearance, or will I go ahead and pick some of them up to peg stack on top of Gears there? Shopping the Walmart clearance aisle, and I found this Nerf Sharp 92. This is one of those really old ones from the 90s, reissued, and they have those suction cup darts. Originally $18, picked it up for $8. I already have one out on display here. I don't know if I'm going to stack the boxes and go ahead and display two of them, or if I'll sell the one that I paid full price for at the toy store and keep the clearance one for display, because I think it is fun to have a lot of clearance items in your collection, and you can point to stuff and say, okay, yeah, I got this for 75% off, I got this for 50% off, I got this for 40% off, this right here was a $50 Nerf gun that I picked up for $13. I think that that's a fun thing to say. So if you got another one to point to and say that was originally $18 and I picked it up for $8, I think that's just kind of fun. So I don't know if I'll stack two of them up or if I'll try and sell one of them at the toy show. Maybe I'll even open it and play with it. Another Walmart clearance purchase. Let's knock over Inferno. Is this Inside Out 2 blind box. When I originally saw these like little circles, I thought, are these little marbles with the characters inside the marble? But nope, it is a blind box that has all of the characters inside. They were like originally $5 a box, and they clearanced for like $1.50. And so I picked up a box, and I got the rare one, the Deep Dark Secret. So that's kind of fun to get the rare one. I don't know if they have any odds. Doesn't seem to. But I already had Anger already here on my cash register. So I'll put Deep Dark Secret next to the cash register, next to the lineup of the Felis Micro Machine cars. Keeping up with the Walmart clearance section, I found this bouncy ball at the Walmart clearance section. It was normally $5. I got it on sale for $3, and it reminds me of those kickballs from the 1980s. And it's just a little smaller than what we used to play with on the playground at my school, but kind of the same idea. And then the last Walmart clearance purchase was these Nerf Pro mag and darts. And these magazines go with the Pro Series blaster there. They made two different ones, the Torrent and the Sender. And I didn't realize before I purchased all of these that pretty much everybody that has reviewed these Nerf Pro half-length darts has said that these guns are absolute garbage. I got that one on clearance, surprise, surprise, and I got these on clearance. These were normally $12 per magazine with the 15 darts, which I think it's awesome that Nerf was selling magazines and darts separate from the guns. I don't know that I've ever seen them do that. They've been selling dart guns with magazines for a very long time, and I don't know that I've ever seen magazines sold separately. Maybe that's been the case, but I don't think I've ever seen it in a retail store. And so I bought a case of them, and after I bought the case, I realized these are not interchangeable with any other brand, any other, style. So, it's these magazines go with these Pro guns, which are pretty much junk. Now, for my purpose, displaying them new in package to cover the Nerf Pro half-length dart offering, that's fun, but I'm kind of questioning whether I should have bought an entire case of them at $5 a piece. Now they're probably going to show up on Ollie's shelves for $4 a piece. That's exciting. But anyway, I'll put that carton out on display here. I like displaying things that came, like this is how they would set it out on the Walmart shelf or whatever. So I've got a carton of these Nerf Jolts. And I've got a carton of these old Nerf AccuStrike darts. And I think that just helps to sell the idea that my toy collection is a mini toy store. Alright, and then we've got a couple things that I purchased from Big Bad Toy Store. So I've got a Super 7 Ultimates Cobra bat. And I remember these in the 3 3/4 scale. I always kind of wanted one, and mostly because it had that really cool lenticular chest plate that showed the electronics of the robot inside of the chest plate. And I cannot believe that this was a $50 action figure and they couldn't be bothered to put a lenticular chest piece in there. That was really disappointing. Now they do have some accessories here, like some blown off robot arms, some electric spark effects, some different attachments for the hands, the different hand styles. But I was really disappointed that chest plate wasn't lenticular. And I got this on clearance. It was $22 on clearance from $50. Honestly, I'm probably going to set it right on the table at the toy show coming up. Try and sell it for $22. And then I have these Blockies Galaxy version 2 SOS. I got a case of them. There are 10 in the series. 9 common, which are these guys here, and 1 like Chase. And the Chase in this series was Grimlock, which is pretty cool. And these Blockies are just little building kits that you can put together, and they actually make spectacular toys. I wish that we would have had these in the 80s and 90s. I would have really enjoyed playing with these. Lots of articulation. You can swap the parts around if you really wanted to. I bought this set because I wanted Starscream. And to buy Starscream like this on the aftermarket, it was $25. And you can buy 1 box at a store for $8. I really didn't want to spend $25 on him. I bought the whole case. And then I got my cousin. He wants to take a couple of these off my hands. He wants the Grimlock dinosaur, the Grimlock robot, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that he wants Hoist. So we're going to work something out where he's going to take those off my hands, and then I'm going to take these and a few of the first wave and take those to the toy show and see if I can't cash out some of my investment here and only have $8 in my Starscream. And he will go with Thundercracker and Skywarp. Look at that trio. And then finally, to wrap everything up, I have something nostalgic. I don't know if I've talked about it a whole bunch, but I used to work at Toys R Us, and I found a eBay listing for some Toys R Us price tags. A new roll of these price tags from Toys R Us. And so I purchased this roll. My intention was to kind of put some price tags on some of my collectibles here. Like this collectible here. This is the 1991 Score 101 card back pack of cards. And this bubble had fallen off of this card back. So what I did was I went through the cards, and this Hot Rookie, which is only accessible through buying these packs on Cardback, I put that in the front, and then I found one of the other cards that I really liked and put that on the front. If you would have purchased this at a store, it would have never shown the Hot Rookie in the front window. They wanted you to kind of, I think there was like 8 or 10 of them, and they wanted you to collect them all and buy a bunch of these packs to collect them all. So they wouldn't have shown you what you were getting. But because I had to tape this bubble back onto this card back, I felt like this collectible doesn't really have any, quote, mint new in package value. And I have always said it was really fun to find these retro price tags on these items. So I knew that I wasn't really hurting the value more than I'd already hurt it by taking the cards that you would never see in the front window, putting those front and center, taping everything back together. And I did a little research, and it seemed like a lot of places that had price tags for these cards on eBay put it at about $327. Toys R Us is always a little higher than everywhere else, so I put a guesstimate of $3.99 on this price tag, and I put it on all 4 of my boxes. So I think that that looks like a fun display. I don't believe that it has hurt the value. I'm not going to try and sell them and represent them as authentic, has the old price tag, and I mean, like, I'm not trying to make extra money by selling it this way. I don't really intend to sell it. This is a cool display, something I remember from my childhood. But I do like finding, like, this Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer snowman. This came with a Toys R Us price tag on it, which is different from the price tag that I purchased for this, that roll of price tags. Here's a KB Toy Store tag on this Man Spider action figure. And I purchased this, and I thought I could just grab any old Garvey price tag gun, and apparently they're very particular about what these things fit. This is a 37 millimeter wide, so it's a pretty decent sized price tag, and I had to pick up a 37 12-12 price gun, and this price gun actually came with a partial roll of these price tags. I talked to the seller, and they said that this was a price gun from a Toys R Us store. And they said that it came from the Northwest Ohio / Southeast Michigan region. So they said it could have been from Detroit, it could have been from Toledo, maybe from Dayton. It's hard to say, but I probably shopped at several of the stores that this might very well have come from. And so it needs a new ink cartridge. It doesn't print everything super well, but I thought that it would be kind of fun to have some of these price tags to kind of dress up some of the collectibles that I put out on display. And I had thought about taking and seeing if I could sell some of the price tags at a toy show and say, okay, hey, I'll custom price tag if you want to do the same thing that I've done, and just kind of like dress up some of the collectibles that you have out on display. But I'm not sure that it's really something that would sell. So I don't know. Could be kind of fun. But I do think that it is very fun to have an authentic Toys R Us price gun to go in my toy store with my glass case, my cash register, my gumball machine, and toy store sign. So, alright, well, that is a look at the toy haul for the month of September. Here in the next couple weeks, I am going to have a toy show that I'm going to be selling at, and hopefully I will actually get some footage this time. The last toy show I didn't get any footage of. I intended to do a recap, never did, so hopefully I can get a nice video made for this toy show here in the coming weeks. If you stuck around this long, thanks for checking out my videos. Hopefully we will catch you in the next one.
That was awesome! Yes! That's awesome!
It's pretty cool, I guess.
Are you gonna be a dork your whole life? Hope not.
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly. I offer a complete and utter retraction. The imputation was totally without basis in fact and was in no way fair comment and was motivated purely by malice and I deeply regret any distress that my comments may have caused you or your family, and I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.